the NFL surely would look at the rights deal done today between TKO, who is the parent company of UFC, and WWE, for $5 billion for the next 5 years to carry WWE programming, which had been on USA Network, particularly in the case of Raw, is going to be every Monday night on Netflix instead. This is a huge bellwether, I would imagine, for the likes of the NFL, for the likes of the NBA, to say, where Amazon previously had dominion over live sports streaming and Peacock in the United States as well to a degree, Netflix has suddenly come to the table with big money and big ideas for this thing. And it's going to change the dynamic of sports in the United States and how it is viewed.
Totally right. I mean, it's funny. When I was growing up, television, which to use an antiquated word now, consisted of news, entertainment, and sports. And the order that you would put those in varied from year to year. And I think sports was often number 3 there. Now we know with live television, sports is number 1, right? This is the one thing people will watch live and not record or sort of watch at a later time. And so you see a deal like this, pro wrestling, and I say this as a wrestling fan, this was not this kind of monetary magnet just a couple of years ago. But look what happened, right? They find themselves in the streaming era. So they made a deal with the aforementioned Peacock to put their entire library on Peacock. You watch any pay-per-view wrestling match from the past. That was a huge deal. And now they've made this deal with Netflix, which, as you say, them just coming to the table and say, oh, by the way, we are also a live sports entity. Yeah, that just makes everything, makes these bidding wars fiercer and makes everything more valuable.
And the scary thing is, we watch smaller, and as we mentioned there, the middle has been gutted essentially, and there's like $5 billion could literally go towards ending world hunger tomorrow, and Netflix have decided, you know what, we could do that, but we want to show Raw every Monday.
Yeah, our second choice was curing world hunger, but we've gone with professional wrestling instead.
It was 50-50. We had a word with Ari Emanuel, and he managed to decide us otherwise.
Pushed us over the top.
Yeah, we want to look at the future, I guess, for these kind of things. Are we going to keep ploughing in the same direction we're going now? Is we're going to see more streaming platforms come to the fore? Are we going to see streaming platforms collapsing into one another, like we saw with Pitchfork into GQ and the Condé Nast umbrella, et cetera, et cetera?
It's interesting because we've kind of got a small number now, right? And Peacock, as I mentioned, has something like 28 million subscribers before they showed that NFL playoff game the other day. So they're actually small and kind of one of those streamers you'd probably put in the category of is this going to survive? Can this survive in a world of Netflix and Amazon? I think right now you'd probably look at it and say this is sort of like the television networks used to be. You're going to have 3 or 4 major ones, and then you're going to have these insurgents that will come along and try to pick off a smaller part of the audience, maybe by doing different kind of programming. But I think if you had to make a bet right now, you'd probably say we're in a 3, 4, 5 major streamer world, and that's where we're going.